welcome to this wonderful chat in this session. We are going to be talking about going from good to great. Okay, we're going to leverage our skills, we're going to walk in our purpose, and we're also going to create optimal impact. Again, for those who are also just joining us, my name is Chanel Power. I am the founder and CEO of the Mentor Me Collective. I'm also a software engineer at Apple, and I have a background in research utilizing mathematics, chemistry, sociology, all of that exciting things. And I'm also really passionate about mentorship, passionate about the Black community, passionate about advocacy words. And I'm just excited to jump into today as well. Okay, so I want you all to know that there is greatness on the inside of you. You know, I feel like in this life of just cancel culture and oversaturation with feeling like you are not enough, it's just all over the place. And especially now with like tech careers and like finances and child, we're in the middle of a whole pandemic. Sometimes we can feel like, you know, what am I living for? What is my purpose? And like, am I really living out the fulfillment of what I'm supposed to? And I want you to know that there is definitely greatness inside of you. I want you all to say out loud with me, I am great. I truly believe that words really shape our future. It shapes our today, and it allows us to begin to even believe, our mind to hear what you're saying, right? And begin to believe what you are saying as well. So I am great. I want you all to be saying that with me as well. Type it in the chat. I am great. I want us to define what greatness is. And what I like to do is actually switch greatness to distinction. Okay. I want us to begin to define what is distinction. And distinction, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, it says it's a difference or contrast between similar things or people. Now that's powerful. Contrast between similar things or people. So you being great means that you are different from other people in ordinary circumstances. Another way that Merriam defines it is as the separation of things or people into different groups according to their attributes or characteristics. So this is really powerful, and I want you all to grab a pen and paper because we're really going to go and dive deep, and I want you all to be able to take a lot of these gems with you as well. Okay, so again, the first one we talked about distinction, being distinct, being different from people and circumstances. This one is now saying according to your attributes and characteristics. But we also have another definition by Merriam saying excellence that sets someone or something apart from others. So what does that mean? That means that there has to be some kind of ethic, some type of standard that you have to have about yourself and about the things that you do that sets you apart as being excellent. And we also have another definition from where Merriam-Webster's dictionary saying it's a decoration or honor awarded to someone in recognition of outstanding achievement. Now, in order for you to have been doing something outstanding and achieve something, it had to have been because you weren't focusing on you. Normally, when we think about people who have achieved something really powerful and really great, it's the folks that have done something very powerful for communities around them and also obviously outside of their immediate circumstance. So I want you to affirm yourself and say, I am distinct. Chanel, you are distinct. Thank you very much. You are distinct. My life of distinction begins today. And I want you all to say that as well, that my life of distinction begins today. Today, we are screaming in the face of fear because we believe that our lives of distinction begins today. Now, distinction is what I like to define as a mathematical equation. You guys know I'm a mathematician by trade. And that is really pairing your natural born gifts, God-given gifts, with your purpose. Distinction is you pairing purpose with your gifts. Okay? Now, Steve Harvey says something that's really powerful, and I absolutely adore him. He says that your purpose, your mission, and your destiny will all be tied to one thing: your gift. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about gifts and identifying that, but I think it's really important that we really narrow in on what is destiny, what is purpose, and what is our mission. So I want us to affirm ourselves first and say, I have a purpose, I have a mission, and I have a distinct destiny. And remember, we define distinction. We have a set apart destiny. We have an excellent destiny. We have something that is not ordinary, right? Something that is impactful. We have that kind of destiny. Now, I want us first, like I said, I want to break down purpose and figure out, okay, like what is purpose? And so again, Miriam defines purpose as the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So that means that there's a reason that you are here on earth, that you're watching this session here in Hopin, that you even signed up to be a part of this text giving. And again, it's for something that exists. So you have to exist. You have to be here. It's created for you to fully exist. Another definition by Miriam says it's an intended or desired result, an end, an aim, or a goal, determination, resoluteness. Now, this is powerful. I really want us to lean into this, and I want you all to type in the chat. Which of these words are really resonating with you? We have a lot of them. Intended, desired result, end, aim, goal, determination, and resoluteness. And as you're taking notes, I want you to definitely to remember the slides that these words are on as well, because you might have some questions later. You might want me to talk a little bit more about what that has been like for me personally, developing the Mentor Me Collective and walking in my purpose of helping other people obtain really great careers in tech, but also to help decrease the Black wealth gap, right? Helping people get six-figure jobs, understanding their finances and so forth. And yours may be and look very different. And we're going to talk about that as well. So purpose, another mathematical equation. I like to also kind of simulate this to motive, right? What is your motive in life? What is your purpose in life? And it also is paired with a mission, which is almost like an actionable vision and a passion, an emotion that is invoked, maybe because you see something happening and you want to be the solution. You might not know you want to be the solution now, but perhaps, you are thinking of ways that we can make this better for folks in the future, or maybe even your generation now. So what could life be like if people were less self-driven? What would life be like? Anna Taylor just says that some people arrive and make such a beautiful impact on your life that you can barely remember what life was like without them. Let's change this to even being tech relative. How many of us have ample amounts of Apple devices, ample amounts of Google devices, Amazon Alexas? We have all of these different things. And we have allowed them to be so much a part of our lives that we probably, if there's one device that is like your favorite device and you stopped using it, you probably would be like, okay, how am I going to live life again without this device that makes my life simple? And I want you to understand that tech is really about that. That is literally our goal, to make sure that we are servicing our users in a way that adheres to problems that they probably didn't even think were problems. We were just living life by them. But developing technologies that allow us to address those issues and almost eradicate them with a device. Simple device, small, big, large, whatever have you. So in the chat, I want you to tell me, what is your favorite device? What's your favorite device? It can be your TV. It can be your PS5. Child, they out here sold out. Let me know if you can find me a PS5, okay? Because, child, I love to game. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. But anywho, stay in focus. But again, these are devices that we have really allowed, again, to impact our lives. Not that even we wanted them to, but it just happened. And again, what can life be like without them? But I want you to think about that being about you. So the purpose of this talk really is to get you to stop living life for you. This culture, and I get that. Let me take a step back. In this culture, everything is about self this, self that, live life for yourself, don't let people do. And that is great in terms of like, we want to set boundaries so that people don't overstep them. And so to the point where we're feeling uncomfortable, and I can understand that. But ultimately, your life is not for you. My grandmother used to always say that to me. And she used to always say, child, I would be so upset. My grandma was a mother in the church, okay? And so what that means and what that looks like is an older woman of color who basically helps oversee the operations of a church. Now, being the granddaughter of that, that meant that my extra hands were of service to the Lord at all times. And so for me, maybe on a Saturday, I wanted to play double dutch with my girls, outside the neighborhood. But to my grandmother, that meant, no, ma'am, we're going to pass out tracts. We're going to go feed the homeless. We're going to go give them clothes. We're going to go do all these things. And as a child, growing up Black, you don't talk like you just go with the flow. I was thinking all these things in my head. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't bold enough to say it. But in my head, I was thinking, I don't want to talk to these people. I don't know these people. They don't know me. Okay. And I had my own plans. But now growing up and realizing having a heart of service, serving others really allows you to, one, feel a sense of belongingness, honestly. What would life be like just being about me? It's not about me. It's about creating impact for others so that they can feel seen, loved, and all of the above. Now, can you be the love for people? That's a whole nother story and context, and child, that might be a therapeutic session. But what I'm saying is ultimately your mission, your distinction, your destiny, your purpose is going to be wrapped up in you understanding that your life is not for you. The people on this earth are literally waiting for you to manifest. Now, this is powerful. I really want us to seek this in. Before I realized my purpose or even identified it, I had little things about myself that I just could not stand, or I just wanted to be the solution for. Case in point, right now I'm a career coach, mentor, all that kind of stuff. I remember being in college and even in high school and watching people like try to figure out their lives and try to figure out their next steps. And in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, let's say for instance, oh my gosh, I wish I could get an internship. I don't know what to do. My head, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe add a little bit of aggression. You know what I mean? Maybe you need to change up the angle in which you're pursuing. Maybe you need to look for certain people. Maybe you need to utilize social media. And naturally for me, I'm thinking about 7 different angles where we can, get this job done. But for that person, maybe it was just so overwhelming to the point where they could not see above. And so what I'm saying is your gifts, your talents, your purpose, your vision, and the vision that we're going to talk about later on in a moment. But that mission that you have that you may not even think is a big thing, or maybe a dream that you have and you're thinking like, man, I can't do this by myself. Or you might have some fear and say like, how am I, how am I going to help others in this way? And I'm here to tell you that the earth and the people on this earth, they're waiting for you to throw away that fear, put these boots on, and get to work. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. So let's dive a little bit more into manifesting your life's distinctive purpose. Now, remember earlier on, I had an equation. I believe that your distinctive purpose is encapsulated on your act on selfless passion. Sometimes we can have passion, but it might be self-driven. It might be something along the lines of, like for example, calling your girl, we got to go. They got a sale going on, at so-and-so's, whatever. I don't know, Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, blah, blah, blah. Selfless passion is, I always visit the city, wherever, maybe Chicago, maybe New York City, whatever. And I always see homelessness. And this is something that really gets my blood boiling because I know that I pay taxes. So what are they doing with my tax money that is not allowing us to have programs for folks who are going through hard times and allowing them to get back on their feet? that can be a selfish passion. Now, here, identifying your people-driven mission, I also talked a little bit about that with an example earlier. You would, like when I said, like, oh my gosh, why are there not programs? Why are there not more assistance? What are they doing with my money? Child, the government is in itself as a whole thing. But what I'm saying is identifying that people-driven mission. What is the vision? How can I solve this problem? Or how can I act positively on this passion or the passion? So I want to break down passion and mission as well. And so when we're breaking down passion and mission, passion is defined by Webster's again as a strong feeling of enthusiasm or excitement for something or about something, about doing something. And so we can take a step back here. Let's really dive into this. What is a strong feeling of enthusiasm or excitement that you are feeling in regards to doing something about it? What's that boiling thing that you told yourself, even though I can't stand this, or even though I want to do something about it? You might be telling yourself, maybe I don't have the money, or maybe I don't have the time, or maybe I don't have the resources or the people. What is that passion? And you all can throw it in the chat. Maybe there's some things that I would love to kind of revisit the chat, like I said, at the end of this, to really just talk a little bit more about that and have really candid conversation. Because it's time for us as a people, and especially as a community of color, to stop putting fear at the forefront of our decision making. And even that is another discussion that we can talk a little bit more about later on. But I want you to think about, like, in what ways are you limiting yourself? How am I limiting myself from being my best version of myself? And we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So I like to think of passion as a strong and barely controllable emotion that is often acted upon, I should say, with your natural gifts. And so I want to give a couple of examples. So we all have a friend that really values truth. My friend is my brother. He values truth so much. And my thing is, listen, bro, it is not that serious. As long as everyone is happy, everyone feels good, like that's good. He's like, no. He's constantly debating with me or other people in the family or even friends on their logic and their psyche on how they think about certain things, or whether or not the statements that they say are actually true. And oftentimes we may even think about that as being devil's advocate. That could be, for folks who want to go into law, people who want to go into like litigation, or maybe even down to maybe you're on your team and you realize that like oftentimes some like certain statements that people make, or maybe the reasoning behind it doesn't make sense to you. So you always challenge what they say. And that's not a bad thing, right? We want to be able to bring different perspective and encourage different perspective, especially in the tech space. So I think that is really, really cool. Another example of passion may be like when we all have a friend that really values efficiency. I have a friend who's like, girl, how can we make this work without error? Okay, because I'm noticing like here, we can definitely improve that area. This is definitely another area of opportunity. And sometimes that means that we constantly see them critically thinking or taking action to make a system better. So maybe like you have a friend that comes over and just starts randomly organizing and cleaning your space. Like I definitely have friends that like, why don't you put this here? Why don't you, you know what I mean? And obviously to each his own. But this also looks like maybe in the tech space where you are a designer, engineer, or whatever have you, and you specifically see maybe like a system or maybe even a line of code. For instance, for me, I'm a software engineer. Sometimes I interact with like older code that is not really properly annotated or commented. So for me, I'm just like, bro, for the next person coming behind me, this is not cool. So I'll take extra time to comment out and to let folks understand like, this is what this line of code is. This is what this block of code means, blah, blah, blah. And you also might do the same as well. We all also have friends that really value advocacy. We all have a friend that does not mind speaking up, doesn't mind conflict. It will be on site for them. We be really like y'all don't really want the smoke with this friend. And you'll constantly see them standing up for folks again who normally wouldn't speak up. So possibly the friend who sees a problem, like let's say you guys are at a restaurant, they see a problem with the food you ordered. They ask you like, girl, you did not order that. And you're like, listen, I know I didn't, but it's fine. I can just eat this too. And that friend's like, absolutely not. Didn't you order that? Waiter, yeah, we need to figure this out. You know what I mean? So we all have a friend that advocates and wants to be the one to make sure that the voices of folks who are normally unheard or just don't feel like speaking up or just don't feel like the hassle, they don't mind being the ones that bring that hassle. Okay. So that also is a gift. That's a natural gift. And that's also a passion that you have. You have a passion to advocate. You have a passion to speak up. You have a passion to be there for someone else in these circumstances. Now, another thing that I want to talk about today is also your mission. So mission is also defined as a specific task with which a person or a group is charged. Now, again, before we were talking about passion, now we're talking about mission. And here we're talking about a task, right? For which a person or a group is charged. So in order to have a task, you want to have a vision of completing that task as well. So I always like to kind of redefine mission as like the actionable vision, right? Taking action on a vision, something that you see that you definitely like, man, I can see the beginning to end, the end to end from ideation to execution, and I'm ready to go. Mission also is a body of persons sent to perform a service or carry on an activity. Now, when we're talking about purpose and obviously living lives that are beyond us, wanting to impact the people around us, wanting to create global impact, wanting to create a community influence, we know that it is, again, an act of service that is not about us. It's because we have defined a passion. We're utilizing our skills and our gifts. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but also enacting on the mission, the actionable vision of what we see going from end to end, ideation to execution. So what would you do if time and money were in a factor? And I want you guys to go ahead and put it in the chat. What would you do if time and money were not a factor? I was trying to see if I could pull up the chat here so I could possibly see it. But I want you guys to go ahead and write that in the chat. And then I want you to know that that might actually be the mission that you should start. And it might seem so big. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay for you to break it down. Break it down into smaller chunks. Maybe you want to create a conference for single parents to come and learn how to identify gifts in their children earlier on. Okay, that's the overarching mission. How do we break that down into smaller chunks to get to that end goal? Maybe the first part is really ideating on doing research. What does the single parent life really look like? What does the statistics say about single parents? You know what I mean? In regards to education and children, you know what I mean? And then kind of build up from there. Next, you could possibly go into, okay, I did single parents. Let me talk about the children of single parents. What are the statistics behind that with education and achieving their goals and all of the above. And then again, like I said, just continue to break it down. Now, again, we talked about purpose being a motive. And again, that's like an actionable vision that encapsulates a mission with passion, right? But now I want us to hop in or take it a step back to, again, what we started off with distinction being about your gifts and your purpose. So really it's gifts plus mission plus passion equals distinction. Okay. And so now I know we talked about the mission and the passion. Let's talk about these gifts. Very excited. So what are the things that your family and your friends always ask you to do that you don't think is important or you don't think is that big of a deal? It just comes so naturally to you. Hey, Chanel, I need you to create a flyer for me. Or, hey, Chanel, I need you to help me with child, I don't know, help me with cooking this dinner for Thanksgiving or something, right? What are the things that you are naturally good at that you don't even sometimes pay close attention to? Those are your natural gifts. And remember in the beginning, we talked about how Steve Harvey said your mission, your destiny, and your purpose are tied to your gift. The things that you naturally do, the things that you love to do. You might have some natural gifts that you don't really necessarily love, but you're just good at, and that's okay. But you do have at least one or two that you actually love to just do, that you would just do on your free time, and maybe that is even a part of your self-care routine to do. Definitely, let's lean into that. So Sunday Adelaja says, the secret to all greatness is to discover what you were born to do in life and then do it. You must find out your gifts and your talents. And that's a heap of a line right there. And that is your secret to all greatness. That is your secret to distinction. What makes you you that other people do not have? They don't have your niche. They don't have the mix, the flavoring, right? That you have, that other people are waiting for you to bring to the forefront. It might be a jewelry connection or a collection that you would like to get into. Maybe you watch a lot of videos on different people like making different kinds of jewelry and you really want to do it, but you're like, would I even be good? Probably. If you have a desire to do that, and not everyone does, but if you have that desire, then absolutely go for it. Why not? So to identify your gifts, I'm really a big fan in discovering who you are. I say this even to my mentees. I want you to discover who you are, and I want you to invest in you. Discovering who you are means really taking a step further and going online and finding different resources to understand who you are better. For me, a couple of years ago, I took this test called the Myers-Briggs personality test. Game changing. Okay. I realized things about myself that I was just like, they get it. They just understand it. There's some, for me personally, what am I, ENFJ, ENFP, something like that. But anyway, I remember for my personality test, it says that I'm a big leader, right? And I just take action. I don't really ask people questions. And that's something that that people have identified with me, especially with family. When family, like, people want you to, wait for them. They want you to, what's the word for it? Include them. And especially being like the older sister and things like that. I'm like, bro, let's just get it done. I don't want to hear if, ands, or buts. I don't want to hear why you think, we need to take something else. In my head, I see a mission. I have a vision. I'm ready to take action on it. I'm ready to pair my passions with getting this done because I value efficiency. And so I'm just like, let's handle this. And so I encourage you all to take this test, www.16personalities.com/free personality test. And when I tell you, fire, okay, absolutely fire. You will find out things about yourself that you would have never, ever known. And the next thing here with investing in yourself or investing in you, learn who you are beyond the surface and develop your skills that you might have learned practically from work, or skills that you have already that may be weak, but you need to make stronger. And one thing I spoke with a mentor earlier this year, and she brought this up to me, Gallup's Clifton Strengths. I was shook it. Y'all, go on this website, gallup.com/Clifton Strengths. And the reason why I say invest in you, because this test is not free, but it comes with things that are more valuable than the money you pay for. I think it's about $50. When I tell you, they show you and give you a breakdown percentage-wise. There's charts. So if you're a person that really loves more information, you're going to get it here. And they have about 25 different ways that you can enhance your gifts and your skills. They also identify your strengths and weaknesses. They also tell you what kind of careers will be best for you to get into. And also same thing for, in terms of careers, same thing for 16 personalities. I mean, child, even tell you the people that you should marry, be friends with. I'm like, y'all is all up in my business. But anywho, moving along strong. I want you all to look into both of these tests because it will be a game changer for your life and is going to give you newfound perspective on how you need to walk out this life as well. So that is basically that on that. I know you guys are probably like, wow, that was pretty simple, or maybe like pretty quick, but it really is that simple. Sometimes in life we overcomplicate things, and it is not that serious. Okay, it ain't that serious. So I want us to review a couple of things, and you guys can go ahead and drop this in the chat. What is the equation of distinction? We talked about distinction being either 2 or 3 components. What is distinction? I'm going to go ahead and try to log on to my phone so I can actually see you all in the comments, because I can't see you all right now. But what is distinction? The next question I want you all to look at is also, I would love for you all to give me a definition, or one of the definitions that I used from Myers in regards to distinction as well. Myers, y'all, Merriam and Webster, y'all. That had a definition about distinction. We talked about excellence. We talked about, having a certain mission, service. Like, I want you all to let me know what that is in the comments. I'm over here trying to find the comments, y'all. Okay. And then also, how did I previously define purpose? How did I previously define passion? Sorry, y'all. I don't know why I said purpose. I'm trying to look at this chat here. Ooh, y'all was in these streets. Okay. Distinction, excellence. I said someone. Okay, Camille, loving it. Distinction is greatness. Love that. Fix the computer. Y'all not right. Absolutely. Travel the world. That's so cool. You are that friend. Yes. Creating housing for homeless individuals. I really love that as well. Absolutely. So the next thing too, what is the equation of purpose? We talked about that as well. We said purpose is equivalent to 2 things. 2 things. One of the words are actually on this review slide. Ooh, passion. Yep, a strong feeling of enthusiasm or excitement for something, or about doing something. Love that. Shout out to you, Camille. You was in these comments, honey. So purpose, yep, is mission and passion. Absolutely. So it's when you mix your mission with your passion. And let's take it a step further. Mission. I talked about mission being an actionable what? An actionable what? Actionable vision. An actionable vision. Okay. Also, I want you all to give me or name 3 affirmations that we spoke about or wrote down earlier. There were some things that we talked about when I said, I am blank. I am blank. I have a blank. What were some of those? Hey, come through, Trisha. Yes, I am great. I have a purpose. I have a mission. I have a distinct destiny. Yes, purpose. Come through, y'all. Absolutely. And these are things that we need to be saying to each other, to ourselves, every day, because every day is not an easy day. Every day you don't wake up feeling like I feel like getting up, or I even feel like looking at anybody, or I don't even feel like talking to nobody. That's real, because we're all human. We all have emotions. We have, we all have like a what's it called, child? We have a setting point to the point where maybe we need to be reset. Okay. So that's a thing as well. So I definitely want you all to know that, but it's important for us to train ourselves and train our minds to think positively about ourselves and about the things that we are doing or will be doing in the future. So that's important. So come through with some affirmations. Absolutely. I love it. And who did I quote on slide 11? There was a certain person that I quoted earlier on in our chat. Yes, Steve Harvey. Y'all better stop. I love it. Yes, Steve Harvey. And he talked about what? Your mission, your purpose, and your destiny is tied to one thing, your gift. He has a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about that, and even talk about his story, because everyone doesn't start at an equal playing field. I'll even say for myself, again, like I'm a child of a single parent mom. I was born in New York City. I went to public schools. Statistics didn't say that I should become an engineer or even have my own business and help other people develop and find their gifts and talents and also walk in their purpose, right? However, through faith, I'm a woman of faith as well, I was able to achieve that. And he also talks about how he was able to achieve that with his faith as well. So go ahead and check that out. And then name one of the online tests that you can take to learn more about you. What is one of those online tests that you can take? Yes! Camille Boo, Golden Star. Okay, yes. Myers-Briggs was one, and the other one is 16 personalities. Okay, 16 personalities is free. Myers-Briggs is 16 personalities. Sis. The other one is the Clifton's Strengths with Gallup. So Gallup.com/Clifton-Strengths or something like that. Now Google it. And it is an amazing, I'm telling you, it changed my life. It changed the game for me. So I encourage you all to lean into that as well. You all did a really great job. So I just want to say thank you all so very much. Super huge thanks to Textgiving. I really, really enjoyed this. And I would love to answer some questions that you all may have. I know that we have a couple of minutes as well. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me actually stop sharing. There we go. Boom. While we're acting like I'm not even an engineer, y'all. Don't judge me. Yes, Camille, I'm here for all of the things. And again, like I said, I really want you all to know that walking in your purpose, living a life of greatness, fulfillment, impact, it is simple. We as humans, we be overcomplicating things. It's not that deep. It is simple, okay? And again, it's tied to your natural giftings and the things that you naturally wish somebody would just figure out and get it together. Girl, that just might be you. So, or man, or gentleman, or everybody. So absolutely. If you all have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. It could be about this. It could be about life as an engineer. It could be about life as a CEO and founder. All of the things. I'm actually going to look back at the comments up here. I love it. Oh, we had some folks from Nairobi, Kenya. Hey, y'all. And ATL is in the building. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Jess. She's amazing, y'all, and hilarious. Yeah, it is my absolute pleasure. So if you all don't have many questions, that's totally fine. I'll give you back the time. But again, I did want to say thank you all so very much for coming to my session, Going from Good to Great. Also, I want you all to know that you all can connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I think that's really just it, honestly. Or you can just figure out where I'm at. Also, like I said, we have a website, mentormecollective.org. You guys can check that out as well. If you all, are looking to just chat and learn a little bit more about how you all can break into tech too. It's important for us to just be available for our community. And so that's my pleasure to do that. So definitely find me on LinkedIn. I'm excited to connect with each and every one of you. But until then, stay blessed, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I look forward to chatting with you all online as well. Thanks so much to the Textgiving family for allowing me to be on this amazing stage. It is such a pleasure and honor that I do not take lightly. So yeah, I'm excited. Thanks so much, Bob. Bye, everyone.